What's going on, guys? I'm back with another video here. Don't exactly know how this is going to turn out, but I pulled some of these knives out, and as you can see, there's some duplicates, and I think that's going to tie into my reasoning for the video. But let's start as we always do with what's in my pocket. Today, I'm keeping it real simple and basic. I have the Spyderco Brower in my pocket with the Casey Lynch pocket clip. Very good knife. Like I've said before, at full value, especially with this clip added on, $25 clip, I don't know that I would have bought it, but with an eBay discount and somehow I got some other discounts, but with the eBay discount and everything, I think this knife was a great purchase and I like it a lot. But anyway, back to the point of the video. Like I said, you can see there are a couple of duplicate knives here, and the reason I'm making this video is, what is my knife of 2018? What do I think was the best knife I purchased in 2018? So obviously, if I purchased more than one, I would assume that I think it's pretty good. And if I modified a knife, I definitely would think that I thought it was good. So that's not the only reason why I picked the knives. I'm going to run through it. But if you were wondering what the purpose of the video is, if you didn't check the title, this is going to be what do I think was my knife of 2018. And as you guys know, I like moderns, but I also carry a lot of traditionals. So I'm going to cover both ends of things. So that way, I know I'd probably get questions if I only covered one and not the other. So that'll clear up the whole thing. So on the left, clearly and obviously, this was a huge hit in 2018. And I'm horrible with dates, guys. I know I picked this up in 2018. Maybe it came out a little bit before 2018, but I picked it up in 2018. The Benchmade Bugout. And as you can see here, I have this one with Rock Scale Designs scales. And I've heard you guys ask me to link stuff in the bottom, so I'll link the this maker down below. Great guy, excellent service. Every time I've reached out to him, he's gotten right back to me. He's active on social media, etc., etc., etc. So great scales, which, no, I'm not even gonna get into that. So anyway, the Benchmade Bugout with the Rock Scale Designs titanium scales. You can see it's about a 3-inch blade, maybe a little over a 3-inch handle. You guys know I don't do a lot of measurements here. Here you go. If you want to see a measurement, there it is. So this knife here is just an excellent all-around knife. It's got kind of that drop point with kind of a clip on it. And let's see, this is gonna mess up my focus. The drop point with kind of a clip on it here, that stonewash finish, the thumb studs, the axis lock, just all around a great knife. Now, when it came out like this. And there was a lot of controversy. People were talking about these grivery, however you want to pronounce it, scales. They were saying, oh man, it flexes, this, that, and the other. I'll show you that. If I can get it to focus. They were like, it flexes, and that's no good. There's a little bit of a flex here, but this knife has been out. I'm going to move these knives. This knife has been out now for at least a year or close to it. How many broken Benchmade Bugouts have you seen? Yeah, I haven't either. So I think that whole thing was overplayed. If it's your preference not to like the lighter weight handle, I understand that, even to the point of people talking about like flex while you're using it. I've never felt this knife flex in my hand, and I sent this exact knife off to a buddy of mine, and he's a union electrician. He trashed the knife. He did everything possible. I told him to use the knife just like you would use a knife, and he did that for 30 days straight. He put this knife in his pocket every day for 30 days, and it came back just fine. So tough knife. I think that the handle issue was overblown. It is a nice light knife. So a lot of people were saying during the summer, if you want to carry something, it's very light, easy to carry. You forget you have it. The blade grind is thin and respectable. It's got S30V steel, which is a great standard steel. It's got that Benchmade heat treat, which if you check out my guy, and I'll link him also, Chef Kalari, I think is his Instagram name. I don't remember what his YouTube channel is, but he's done several tests on the steel of the Benchmades and the steel of the Spydercos. You need to check that out if you haven't. I'll link that down below as well. But just a great all-around knife. They worked in a lanyard hole that doesn't seem like an afterthought. It fits in. You can fit a huge piece of paracord. I'm not a lanyard guy. We got this new short pocket clip, which everybody was kind of on the fence about. I did mention that because of the length of this, and I'm going to talk a little bit of physics here, the length of this lever, you're closer to that fulcrum. So anytime you get closer to the fulcrum, the pivot point of something, it's going to be harder to lift it up. So I do have to, for me personally, if I'm wearing jeans or something like that, I put my thumb underneath the clip and pull it up some as I slide it into my pocket. Now it comes out easy, but going in it is a little bit tough. But just a great knife. At $115, I think, is the price of this knife, roughly, for this version. Now, there are several different versions out now. But at $115, I think it's a pretty decent value. I really don't have any issues with it. And like I said, I liked it so much, I bought it twice. And I even upgraded this one. So that would be my modern knife of the year for this year, for those reasons. My traditional knife of the year, I'm a little bit torn. Anytime the 77s come out, and the traditional guys know we didn't think we were getting 77s this year. It was kind of a surprise release. We kind of, I think we they're usually released in the fall, and yeah, they're usually released in the fall, and we skipped that fall release, and this was released a little bit later from what memory serves, or maybe I have that messed up. Like I said, my memory is not the greatest, but like I said, this is a 2018 production. You can see it there. So whatever the release time it usually comes out, the 77s from Mike usually come out. They didn't come out during that time. So a 77 is going to be up there just because. Guys, honestly, the 77 is just a great medium-sized pattern, great snap. He really takes the time when he decides to design these SFOs. He really takes the time to put all the bells and whistles in there. I mean, the cover material, the bolsters, the match strike puller. I mean, he really takes the time to put all of the designs aspects into the knife. Things you don't see other places. Now, the one thing that we didn't see this year that we have seen in the past was that we got 2-blade versions and no 1-blade version. So I would kind of prefer it to be a 1-bladed version, but we have a 2-bladed version, and it's not bad. It's just that I myself prefer a a single-bladed 77, just because it's a little bit slimmer. It's a little bit lighter because this knife is all steel. And if it's going to be a work knife, I really want to be able to, not that this is uncomfortable, but if this is going to be Barlow, a work style knife, I want to be able to get in here and really grip that knife and not have any protrusions out of the handle whatsoever. So as you can hear, great walk and talk. Same thing with this one. Just great all-around knives. Really enjoy them. Favorites in the traditional knife community. So they're always going to be up there just by default anytime they're released. And some of that is just because they're limited edition releases, but that's a whole different story. So I'll set those to the side, and you'll wonder why this one is here. If I had to pick a knife that was a general release, anybody could have put their hands on, even though this one is a little bit different, anybody could have put their hands on that was something special for this year that I really enjoyed when it was released, a lot more than I thought I would, honestly. It would be this knife, and that's the 44 Gunstock Jack. And this one is in chestnut jigged bone. And I hope that beautiful color is coming across. I love that chestnut copperhead jig bone look. And they brought back brass bolsters for this. They haven't done brass bolsters in forever. And this unique shield that they also haven't done before at all. So the one thing that I like about this knife, or some of the things I like about this knife that will put this right up there with these knives for me, with the 77s for me, obviously the sizes are very similar. on top of the sizes being very similar, the nail nicks are on the same side. I'm really a fan of this. Even though I just said that I don't want to have two blades in the knife, if it's going to be something that's more intended towards a work knife, a Barlow style knife, this does have two blades as well, but I can just reach in here and look at that long secondary blade. I mean, that could almost be the length of a regular size blade on some knives. So the walk and talk is excellent, super snappy. Same thing on this main blade, and like I said, this one is a little bit special because it is a satin finish. So the other ones I believe were polished. So this one is satin finished. Excellent walk and talk. I mean, this was one of the knives that came out in 2018 where GEC just really got all the fit and finish just nailed. I mean, this knife is centered. The accent work on the bolsters. I mean, just the springs, the transitions. This knife was just really, really well done. And a lot of people were saying that this knife really put GEC back to the quality level they were at several years ago, because they did have a little dip the past year or so. Well, 8 months or so, they were retraining some people because they lost people to retirement, so on and so forth. So they were retraining people and bringing new people on board to do jobs that had been done by somebody for, you know, God only knows how long. So this was really once they got all clicking on all cylinders right here with the 44 Gunstock Jack. A lot of people regard this as one of the the highest quality, highest fit and finish knives from GEC this year. So those will be in my picks for this year for 2018. Be interested to hear what you have to say about your picks. I appreciate you guys watching. Sorry it's been a little bit since I made a video. I'm going to be churning out a few of them here, but I just wanted to get this one done today. Thank you for watching. Thank you all for the support this year, and I appreciate everything you've done. Remember, a lazy man carries a dull knife.